Hello and welcome to the live coverage from the World Ski-orienteering Championship that 2024 takes place in Ramsau, Austria. Today is the day that our athletes have waited so long for. First day of this championship and the sprint distance. The one who's gonna guide you through this race is Linus Rapp, former athlete from the Swedish national team, but now we want to see the true athletes. Ramsau is a small village, famous for its cross-country skiing arena and the glacier. So a lot of skiers is familiar with this place. But we had the World Cup last year here. Before that, only had the World Championships in Austria, I think about 26 years ago. So a new position for the ski orienteers to compete at, and we're gonna start off with the men's sprint distance today. It's approximately 3.5 kilometers. Not so much climb, only 50 meters. Estimated winning time is 14 minutes, and the start interval is 60 to 90 seconds. In the end, we have 90 seconds between the skiers. And actually, we have had our first athletes out on this course, and we see the starting point. It's very high up. They actually have taken the lift for the ski jumping hill, and they are starting on the top and going downhill in the, I would say, spruce forest in the beginning, and then in the end perhaps out on the meadows a bit more. We see the control 4 will be the split 1, TV split 1, after approximately 3.5-4 minutes for the best runners. And it's quite, I would say, dense network here of narrow tracks. It's snowmobile tracks with the sled. And here to the 5th control, it's a longer leg, and there are different route choices to take there. And also then we go downhill again. So in the beginning, I would say it's a bit up and down. It's a bumpy tracks out in the forest since we have had some snowfall out there. And then we come towards the 8th control here, and then starting to be a lot of downhill in the end. At the 9th control, we see the TV split number 2. I would say approximately after almost 9 minutes there. And then we go out to the meadows. It will be very interesting to see when we go through the legs a bit more. There are possibilities of doing some shortcuts today, even though yesterday was the model event, and I talked to some of the athletes, and they did a lot of shortcuts. There has been coming snow, there are snow in the air, and probably not as good today as it was yesterday. So we will see what's the best out there. We have had the European Youth Championships races and also the Junior World Championship race sprint distance today. And we have seen that there has been a lot of mistakes and shifting out in the terrain. And we do some analyze of some of the legs. You see here to the 6th control, there is a red choice, and I would say that is the choice to take. And I don't think any shortcuts will be made out of this leg. It's so straight, so I think you should go and keep on the narrow tracks there, and we get to see how it looks. You see the narrow tracks are made by snowmobile, and they are quite bumpy out there, and even though it doesn't look on the map like it's really much downhill, you see this will go fast in the terrain, and that means that the athletes need to have a lot of foresight to know exactly where should I go, when will I turn, which tracks will come from the right, from the left, and I think that will be the most difficult today. And then if you also put in that they will do a lot of shortcuts, probably, I would say, a lot of shortcuts. And it means that a lot of mistakes can be made. And as I said, we have seen that in the junior. Here is a quite interesting route to the 8th control. I think that the red choice that we will get to see, I think it's it doesn't look like the fastest. So I will see if I think that the athletes may do some shortcutting. You see here in the Sprouse Forest, it's not so much snow, and probably some athletes start quite early, will make some shortcuts, and then the shortcuts will get better and better to the last starters. Because I think going this red route choice, you see you lose a lot of elevation, even though it's a simple and you can keep really high speed out to this wide track, then it's still quite a lot of height to climb. So we will see how we see. But you see also the wide tracks are really fast. But today there will be mostly skiing on the narrow tracks, as I can think. And here we have, I would say, the first starter that has really good chances of coming top 10, Rasmus Wikbom, Sweden. 2 years ago, the World Championships was held in Kemi in Finland, and then Rasmus was at the 3rd position at the sprint distance, only like 2-3 seconds after the winner, Vili-Petri Saarela. Sadly, Rasmus had some big issues with his... he has been sick a lot, and his shape is not clear how good it is. You see how much the snow is coming. So I think it actually will help the athletes a bit, since yesterday was really hard out on the tracks. Today it's a bit smoother and not as fast, and maybe it will become easier. But here we also have the starting list, and we have seen some of this start. We just saw number 24, Rasmus Wikbom. That is probably the first really good athlete and will set a good time if he can keep his orienteering together. But Rasmus is really strong in the orienteering. Then we have some more interesting, I would say, number 43 and 45, Isak Lundholm and Albin Geselius. They had both got medals from JWOC last year, but then we have the really good guys in the end. Number 57, Apo Vippola. He was 2nd in the World Cup last year. And we have number 60, Niklas Ekström, and 68, Jörgen Backlid. The Norwegian who won the World Cup, he is the number 1 ranked in the world, and he is the guy to beat. Here we have Francesco Corradini, the Italian. He is he will get his map really soon. Francesco's father, I would say, is a legend in Italian ski orienteering. He won the world champs quite a lot of years ago. Francesco also have a sister who's competing in the women's class. We will see how Francesco will be doing today. I think it will be a bit much orienteering for him. He's a strong athlete, but he can do some mistakes. And as I said, here we have Sander Pritzik against the Finnish. I think he will go into the new best time. It looks like that. He has 30 seconds to beat Andres Rum, also Estonian, and Sander is in the finish there. He has 16:26. He takes the lead by 28 seconds before Andres Rum. And then we know that the estimated time was 14 minutes, so probably they will be going a bit faster, but the snowfall is also slowing the pace out for the athletes today. So I think looking at this, we will get to see him compared to Rasmus Wikbom here. And we see that Rasmus has a better pace in the beginning. He also takes the first control at a slightly different route choice. Then Sander also takes another route choice. I think that I would say that the route choice to the third control doesn't look so bad for Sander Pritzig, but to the first and second control, I think Rasmus Wickbom did the best route choices there. And now they have some steep climbing. We see that Rasmus is live coming up to the TV control. You see here, what a beautiful nature. It's spruce forest, a lot of snow. This is winter sport in its best. I think we see Rasmus coming up there, and we know that Sander Pritzig is leading in the finish, but here at the first TV control, we have Krzysztof Prusa, the Czech, leading only 1 second ahead of Tobias Kugler, but it looks like Rasmus will take the lead with some seconds. We will see exactly. Yeah, he punches there, and he takes the lead with 14 seconds. And as we have seen, a stable start from the Swede, Rasmus, and as I said, seeing him start thinking that he will be the first guy to beat, the guy that takes the lead in the beginning and maybe holds it for a while before the really, really fast guys in the end will come. Here we have number 29. It's Jens Dahlgaard, a Danish athlete. Really fun to see the Danish also competing here in the ski-orienteering. I suspect that Jens has been not just at his home training skis and ski-orienteering. So we'll see how ready he is, but really nice to see a Danish ski-orienterer. Actually, I have never seen him compete, so we will see how. I don't know much, but probably he won't be able to keep the same pace as Rasmus from Sweden. I think there are going to be some runners that don't maybe have the best time here, and then around like number 33, 35, 36, there will be quite a lot of good starters again. And here we have Vitalijus Petrulis from Lithuania. He's coming to split one, and he is at 10th position, 40 seconds behind Rasmus, and also looking a bit tired after that uphill. But now we know that the long route choice to the 5th is staying on the border of the equidistance. So it's not uphill, it's not downhill. But it's an important leg to find the best route choice, and to see that otherwise you can lose a lot of time choosing the wrong route choice. There we have number 30, Daniel Gretzer from Switzerland. The Swiss guys, I would say, are quite used to this Central European or ski orienteering, and the Nordic athletes maybe are not as used to. We saw Francesco Corradini in at number 7 at split 1, only 24 seconds behind Rasmus Wickbom. So it means that I would say we have the best athletes from the Nordic countries, and some, I would say, Swiss athletes that are up there. But maybe that it isn't the Nordic terrain. It's can be make that I would say I think the Swiss did some really good results at the World University Ski Orienteering Championships in Lanzerheide like 2 weeks ago. So we will see what the Swiss can do. We see here Yuki Ishihara, a really good time, number 2, but hasn't been able to read. He has had no foresight to the long control and lost time directly because he had to stop. We see here Radek Penas. He is coming to the number 2nd position at the finish. He's 16, I would say. We see 16 seconds behind Sander Pritzig. So a good race from Radek, and we knew he was. They was at the same time at the first TV control, so he has lost some seconds, but still a stable and good race as it looks from the Czech. And we also have more Japanese runners, Sugata Kura, to the starting position. I would say that the Japanese athlete that we saw, Yuki Ishihara, is the best Japanese runner. Yeah, here we get to see the 5th control, and you see Rasmus going really straight, and it looks like, and then to the 6th control, there is a shortcut all the way straight down. You see, so now we see 7 to 8. As I said, I don't think they will go down there. Rasmus take a shortcut, and will probably make a shortcut from the last narrow track straight into the control number 8, and it looks really good for Rasmus. We will see if the pace is enough for him, but technically orienteering, it's very good for Rasmus, and I think we see him here against the 9th control. Yeah, but you see they don't make shortcuts everywhere, so it has to be too long around. Oh, he has been doing really good here. He takes the lead with almost 1 minute before Sander Pritzik, and we know he only had 20 seconds, so he has gained 40 seconds, and I think Rasmus is doing a really stable, good race. And as I said, he was the bronze medalist 2022, so he knows what he's doing, and we will see if he has the really top pace when the better athletes that starts a bit later will come. But not a single mistake out of Rasmus yet. Here we have Radek Lachiga, a veteran, I would say. Radek the Czech. He has an old skiing style. He mostly do the second technique, as I say in Sweden. But here he goes away starting, and I would say Radek is stronger than his best was that when it was really tough ski orienteering. Maybe not anymore when he's a bit older, so he has a lot of routine. And here we have Krzysztof Prusa. We know he was before Sander Pritzik at the first TV control, but it looks like he also have lost some time. I'm not certain that Krzysztof is the first skier here, or if he's coming later. Yeah, exactly. That was a Kazaki runner. Here we have Krzysztof. He has lost a lot of time. Probably done some mistake out there. You see he's pushing really hard here to the finish, but the seconds have passed out on him, and he's going for probably place number 4 at the moment, just ahead of the home skier that we have at 5th now, Simon Kugler from Austria. And Austria has one, I would say, really good skier that is Tobias Habenicht. We will see if he can show the home crowd that he is someone to be cheered for. He got a child like 1.5 weeks ago, so we will see if it's the dad effect or if he lacks some sleep. We will see. I think there can be Yuki Ishihara on his way down to the 9th control here, but the time against Rasmus Wickbom has already passed. I think we see that Yuki takes it a bit slower, and that's the way interesting. Like, you really had to be good technically to come down this path, these narrow tracks. And here we have another runner against the finish. You see. Yeah, here we have Tobias Kugler. I think it's... he's after Simon Kugler, and he comes into the 7th position. 51 seconds behind Sander Pritzik. Looking at the map and wondering how was it out there. Yeah, here we have some runners. We have Francesco Corradini. He's up on split 3rd position at the moment, and 121 behind Rasmus Wickbom. So still no one that's really close to Rasmus, and Rasmus should probably be quite soon up to the finish. Here we have Jan-André Müller, and that's a better time than Rasmus Wickbom. He's 4 seconds ahead of him, but as you can see, he is not really certain where to go, but he looked really strong, I think, Jan-Andre Müller. He had the good races in Lenzerheide also. So he's a strong skier. We get to see the comparison here between him and Rasmus Wickbom and Sander Pritzig. You see, he takes a more shortcut than Rasmus there. It's shortcut almost all the way. And they go the same route choices here to the third control. And they are the same there. So that's where we see that Rasmus maybe hasn't the best strength in his body yet. And now we get to see Jan-Andre Müller going live. And they take the same route choice. I think that is the best route choice. Because it's such a straight line, close to the control line, and not much height, just going on the border and being able to keep high speed. And I don't think that this leg invites to so much shortcutting. Maybe if you want to go up and take the control from the wide track from the north side, but actually I think that the route choice that Rasmus and, as we saw, Jan-Andre Müller going out on, is the best. And probably this can be Rasmus Wickbom on his way to the finish. Yes, number 24, the Swede, Rasmus Wickbom, and he has kept on pushing and pushing, and he has put a really good pace. We will see if he has really the power. He looks quite tired, but he has been out in almost 15 minutes, so it's not strange, and a lot of snow for him to cross before the finishing line. But he takes the lead with more than 1.5 minutes. He has passed out the last 6 minutes. He has been 30 seconds faster than Sander Pritzig. He looks tired, Rasmus, but I think a really stable race, and it probably won't be enough for the medals as it was 2 years ago, but I think a good position. Here we have Corsin Boos. He is 20 seconds behind at the first TV control. So perhaps he has done some mistakes or just hasn't had the day. We saw he came from the other narrow track here into the control, and I think that was slower. But we have here Tuomas Uotinen. Now we have started coming the athletes that I was thinking that could maybe challenge Rasmus, and here is a new leader. Tuomas, he takes the lead 10 seconds before Jan-Andre Müller, and he also takes, not certain here, but I think he went out to the left route choice, and I think he lost some seconds there, but it's more important to take the right route choice than to stress out on the wrong one. So 10 seconds lead for Tuomas Uotinen, and he's there 13 seconds ahead of Rasmus Wickbom. So we will see when we come to the second TV control. Here we see a shortcut from Daniel Gretzer. This is a straight through the terrain, and you see they do a lot of shortcuts and they go between the narrow tracks, and they navigate by seeing the narrow tracks. And we have Daniel Gretzer here. He's coming, and he will be behind Rasmus Wickbom. But we know that the Swiss Jan-Andre Müller started only 3 minutes behind him, so perhaps we will see him quite soon closing into this control. And he punches the control there. He's in 7th position, 143 behind Rasmus Wickbom. So very interesting, we get to see directly straight from the forest when they make the shortcut. And you see, when it's this steep downhill, now we get to see Jan-Andre Müller, and he goes up there, and it looks like he gained some seconds, but here he does a mistake. Here he does a mistake, Jan-Andre, and loses some time. And you see here is the difficulty when you start doing shortcuts, and we have had athletes in the terrain earlier. It's easy to go a bit out of direction, as Jan-Andre did, and then you lose the seconds directly. That's why you see the routine from Rasmus. He doesn't make the shortcuts just to make the shortcuts. He knows exactly where he's gonna leave the track. He knows which direction, and that is the biggest difficulty today. That it's easy to make like a shortcut that you will lose your direction, come out on another track that you think you're coming out on, and there you lose some seconds. And when it's this tight, as it probably will be, I think downhill sprint, it's not so easy for the stronger guys to leave the a bit slower guys after. I think it will be really tight. Then these seconds are really heavy to lose. And here we have Jan-André Müller. Yeah, he lost some seconds. He's 14 seconds behind Rasmus Wickbom. We know that he's really fast, Jan-André, but we have seen some small mistakes from him. And we will see if he can catch the time on Rasmus. He had 3 or 4 seconds earlier, and now he's 14 behind. Francesco Corradini sprinting into the finish, into the 4th position. And we see the Lithuanian guy thanks him for the help today. They have been... Francesco has catched up on him, and they have probably tried to go together and gain some time there. So, now we know we have a new 4th best time in the finish. And here we have the TV1 again. We see who will be on his way up here. Severin Müller. Severin actually had a really good university last 1.5 weeks ago in Lenzerheide. I would say his best week ever in ski-orienteering, and crowning that with a silver medal. So Severin is a good ski-orienteering and in really good shape, but it looks like he's already behind here. Yeah, you see here Severin coming in the red shirt from Switzerland, but he will be behind Tuomas Uutinen. And we also have a new 2nd best there, Kevin Hallop, and Theodor Mojelset, the first-year senior, is also there. So Severin is in the group 10 seconds behind, 4th place. We know he can catch time on Tuomas. As we see here, Tuomas Uutinen, number 36, the finish. And you see how he works with the legs, even on the shortcutting, trying to get some speed with him. And he is coming into the 8th control and then going down to the 9th control. And you know, he had 13 seconds on Rasmus Wickbom at TV1, and he comes here. You see, he is. It looks like he has really good speed, and he will definitely take the lead. I think he might have opened the gap a bit towards Rasmus. Yeah, it looks like this. He will have more than 20 seconds now. So 23 seconds lead for Tuomas Uutinen, and this will be a really good time. We know he leads by TV1, he leads by TV2. So, and he looked really, really focused and knew what to do. And here we have Jakub Škoda, also a Czech veteran who has been in the tour for quite a long time. And you saw he was 7th there, but he had no issues. He knew exactly where to go. He had punched the control. He knew exactly where to go. He didn't even stop and look at the map. He just continued going. And there he catched some seconds. And that's the routine from Jakob. He knew when he comes to the control, you have to have the foresight. You have to know in which direction you need to go out. So good start from Jakob Škoda. Only 15 seconds behind there. And here we have the arena, the cross-country arena here in Ramsau am Dachstein in Austria. And heavy snow. It was also really windy this morning, but now it's more of the snow. So now we are into the better runners. And we know that Isak Lundholm, the Swede, who won the silver medal at the middle distance junior world championship last year in Madonna, went out only 3 minutes behind Jakob Škoda. And now we are in the forest towards the 9th control. We get to see here our cameraman skiing in the other direction on the shortcut. And it looks like Kevin Hallop, the Estonian. He was only 3 seconds behind at TV1. We'll see how he has been doing this long leg. He has had some mistake out there. Sadly for Kevin, he is 47 seconds behind Tuomas Uutinen at the moment, and he was only 3 seconds behind earlier. So he has had some difficulties. And we have Korsin Boos also. And Korsin is, I think, in a better time. Yes, Korsin has catched sometimes on Tuomas actually. So he's only 8 seconds behind now. He was 21 seconds behind earlier. So really good pace from Korsin, and he has picked up his race, and also he looked really determined. He goes into the forest again after being out on the wide track, and it looks like he has really high speed. So at the moment, TV Control 2, Thomas Uotinen before Corsin Boos and Rasmus Wikbom. And the snow is falling. And yet another skier against the finish. That's Jan-André Müller. And Jan-André will probably be behind Rasmus Wikbom still. We get to see the clock soon if he has been able to catch them seconds on Rasmus. I think he has catched some seconds, but it doesn't look like it will be enough. Jan-André here on the way into the new second place in the finish. Only 8 seconds behind Rasmus. Then we know that he was, I would see, he was 14 seconds behind earlier. So they have been doing quite similar racing at the end. But a stable race from Jan-André. We saw some small mistakes. And here we get to see the top 3. Thomas Uotinen, you see making the shortcut into the 11, also out from the 11th control. But now they go, they don't want to go the shortcut into the green. And Thomas looking like he's skiing faster than Rasmus and all the way. Oh, now he does a really interesting shortcut in the yellow area. It's very steep there and also over some kind of water, but probably Thomas is not the first to go that shortcut, and it will be the fastest one to go there. So we will see. He's closing in to the finish, and then we have this forbidden area to the last control, so they have to choose if they want to go left or right to that control. I think he will probably continue through the control. We will see. Actually, he turns around, and you see Rasmus Wikbom. He went around there, and it looks like Thomas gained a lot of seconds by going around there. And that is also going later. You have more shortcuts out in the forest. But probably Thomas made that shortcut himself, and it looks like it was really good for him. So we will see coming up to the last control. Yeah, we have him in between Radek Lachiga, and also has catched up some other guys. And we see Thomas here. Oh, he's doing really good, and he has really big lead at the moment. I think Thomas, this is a good race from him, but he looks a bit tired. He's not able to pass Radek or the Swiss athlete, but he had 20 seconds, and now he finishes with 36 seconds. That's a really good race from Thomas. He shakes his head, but I don't think he needs to do that. Maybe he broke his ski probably in the shortcut that he did in the end. Still, I think he gained some time there, but of course when the pursuers come after him and they have a whole ski, he can lose some time in the end. It's very interesting here. We see a Swedish athlete. I think it's Truls Lindholm up to the first TV split, but he will be some seconds behind. And you see there we have new second position, Albin Geselius. And he is some seconds behind here. Truls, he is at 11th position, 16 seconds. So Thomas Uotinen leading in the finish and leading all the way out there. But new second position, Albin Geselius. Now we see Corsin Boos. We knew he was quite close, and we know that Thomas broke his ski. But Corsin makes another route choice. I think that Corsin will pass Thomas. And now we see he continues through the control. So Thomas' shortcut was good, but I think when he went over the trench, he broke his ski, and you saw he stopped and lost some time. Here we have Andris Jordi from Switzerland, a technical ski-orienterer that was top 10 at the middle distance European Championship last year. But now we get to see Kevin Hallop, and I think that we want to see Corsin Boos, who just started behind him. Kevin into the tied second position, 36 seconds behind Uotinen. But we know he was almost catched by Korsin out in the forest, and he is heading to the finish really soon, probably for the new leader. Yeah, here he comes, Korsin Boos, and you hear the cheering from him. They know he has done a really good race. Some difficulties. Actually, he has lost it on Thomas, and then we know that to the lost control, probably, I haven't seen his GPS, but probably you should turn around, because we know that they were there at the same time. And we also see that Kevin Hallop sadly has mispunched, skipped the lost control. But at this leg, you see that Korsin Boos, he took the right route choice, continuing through the control. But Tuomas Uutinen, he turned around and gained 5 or 6 seconds on Korsin. So it's important to orienteer all the way. And here we have Stanimir Belomashev. He was really good at World Championships 2022 in Kemi. He won the gold medal at the middle distance, crowning that championship for him. And he is always good, I would say. He is really strong skier. He can have some problems when the narrow track system is too tight, but I think that this probably will suit him quite good. So interesting to see. And here we have another Swedish skier, Gustav Jonsson, number 50, going really good pace and probably taking the lead here before Tuomas Uutinen. And he works a lot with his legs. You see, he gets the power and he knows exactly what to do. He takes the lead 4 seconds there before Tuomas Uutinen and Peter Horvat, the Czech, at third position. And I think Peter Horvat perhaps maybe on his way. Not really yet. Here we say Albin Geselius, the Swede. He had really good races at the Lenzerheide, the world ranking event races, but today he is some seconds behind. He will just be before Rasmus Wickbom, his teammate there, 22 seconds behind at third position. But we know that Korsin Boos cashed some time on Tuomas Uutinen before the leg to the last control. We know that Tuomas Uutinen broke his ski, so perhaps Albin can catch some time. He's a young athlete. He took a lot of medals, but he won the sprint distance at Junior World Championship last year. So he's really good and a man for the future. Here we have Evert Toivonen. He was really stable last year. I think he was 4, 4, 6 at the last World Championship. And he was also in last year's World Cup. He was top 6, 7 out of 9 races. So he is a really stable ski orienteer, but he has lacked this last seconds a lot of time. So I think Evert really wants the medal and wants to go hard for this one. So Evert, he's very stable. I think it could suit him really well, this terrain. He has been aging and getting some routine also, so we will see what Evert can do. And here we have another, I think it's a Swiss athlete, Severin Müller, to the finish, and he has lost a lot of time. Severin, which I thought would be able to do a good race, but as you see, you can have good shape, you can have good orienteering technique and still do big mistakes. And sadly for Severin, I don't think that Tuomas Uutinen will win. And tomorrow is the pursuit, and it will start from today's result list. So he will go out more than 2 minutes behind tomorrow, and he's almost been catched up by Jakob Skoda. We see here Jakob into the finish there, 58 seconds behind Tuomas, in at number 8 position. So yeah, as I said, it's important to do a good race today because it's the World Championship sprint, but it's also very good to not give up in the forest. You need to fight all the way. And here we have Aslak Heimdall. Actually, he was really good, but doing a crucial mistake. No. And that is the problem. Here we have Aslak. He made some shortcut. He doesn't know exactly what to do, where he is. And now he has lost both the sprint distance and the pursuit race. So that will be heavy for him. Here we have Gustav Nordström. He is 35 years old, but he's not a veteran in the ski-orienteering. He has been doing cross-country, has been doing World Cup races in cross-country skiing, has been doing ski classics, and now he's coming back into ski-orienteering. When he was 20, he went the Junior World Championship with two legends, Olli Markus Taivanen and Hans-Jörgen Fohle, and those three were the best at the time. Gustav, really strong skier, and since he has done ski classics, he's got it good at double pulling. So it will be really interesting to see which pace he can have. And we see that we have had a really interesting time to TV1 at Stanimir Belomashev. The Bulgarian has started really hard. He takes the lead there with 16 seconds before Gustav Jonsson. And now we have Peter Horvat, who is 4th or 5th at the first TV control. And he will be here at the second TV control at 3rd position. He has lost some seconds on Thomas. Here he's breathing, he's working hard and pushing to keep the pace up, and then into the forest again with full control on the map. So you have to try to get up the pace and then finish again. And here we have Gustav Jonsson, I think. Yes, Gustav Jonsson, number 50, is number 2 at the first TV control. And it looks like he knows exactly where to go into the 8th control. But I don't think he has the seconds on his side this time. We will see. He will probably be quite close to Thomas, but we know that he was 4 seconds before him earlier. It will be really close between Gustav and Thomas. Some seconds behind probably, but very much definitely in the race here. So 2nd position for Gustav, 5 seconds behind Thomas here, and working hard. Yeah, you see he takes the possibility also to read the map out when he comes out to the wide track, so he gets the foresight to the next control. And here I think we have Evert Toivonen coming up to the first TV control. Really good pace. You see he's strong. He also looks at the map a lot when he comes up here, and we will see how the seconds is on his side. Yeah, he's into the number 4. He's in this cluster, and we also have Albin Geselius into the finish there. Really hard race in the end. You see his chest is pumping up and down. 2nd position, only 5 seconds behind Tuomas Uttinen. And then we know that Albin was 21 seconds behind him for a while. And now we get to see the GPS again. We see Stanimir Belomashev with a big lead, more than 15 seconds before Gustav Jonsson. Probably not the best shortcut there, I think, but Gustav makes the same, so we will see. Still coming directly to the control. It looks really good for the Bulgarian Stanimir Belomashev, who has a lot of medals in his cabinet. But I think he has become a father again, so... But still, it looks like he gets to sleep very well and train on well. So now he's coming up to the wide track, towards the control 8, I think. We have not seen it. You see, he has catched up Andri Jordi, the Swiss athlete, trying to catch or keep Stanimir's back, knowing that... maybe not knowing how good Stanimir's race is, but it looks really good here for Stanimir. Probably coming down quite soon. Yeah, you see some athletes up there. Yeah, you see he's taken the 8th control, and we know it's like 20-25 seconds to this control, so he will take the lead with a lot. And not certain he took the exact best route choice into the 8th control there, but you see he will take a big lead. He had 16 seconds to Gustav Jonsson, and he had 20 seconds to Uttinen, and he has delivered on the long leg here. So now it's 31 seconds for Stanimir Belomashev, and now I think we are starting to get those really good times. This can be a medal race for Stanimir. A lot of good runners still not in the forest, and here we have one of them. I think it's John Schneider. John has been the best Swiss athlete many years. I would say he got passed by Nicola Miller some years ago, but John, he delivered really, really well on the races in Lenzerheide. It was both student World Championship, and Sean is a bit older than that, but he went the third ranking event races and actually beat Jürgen Buckley one of the days. So it will be very interesting to see John. Here we have the standing at the finish at the moment. Tuomas Uttinen, Finland, leading 5 seconds before Albin Geselius, and third position we have Corsin Boos from Switzerland.
Soon coming down towards the finish, we can see the blue and yellow race suit already.
And we know that Stanimir Belmashev had 30 seconds out there. We see at the 11th position Isak Lundholm, the Swede. I think he has done some mistake, and also, as we talked about earlier, Severin Müller, 13th position, quite a big mistake, and it will be tough for them to try and catch time on the best on the pursuit. So, not the best day, and I think we will see some more athletes losing time. I think this is Peter Horvath into the finish. He took the right route choice to the last control, which we knew that Corsin Boos lost time on. But he has ended this race really good and is sprinting for the top position here. Then he has passed Tuomas from there. Oh, I shouldn't say too much. There are only 5 seconds and it doesn't look so long, but it's a tough sprint here. He goes into the new second position, 2 seconds behind Tuomas. A good race from Peter Horvath. But looking at the map, wondering, can I find 2 or 3 seconds out there? Probably he can. And here we have Aslak Heimdal, which had a really good time in the beginning, but we got to see his big mistake doing the shortcuts and losing his direction there out in the forest. Very disappointed Aslak Heimdal going into the finish and just keeps on skiing out there. He's 13th position, 128 behind. Not the day for Aslak. And we will wait to see how we have Gustav Jonsson to the finish. And if he still is able to be... it looks like he has lost some time on Tuomas Uttinen also in the end. A stable race from the Swede, Gustav Jonsson, losing also to Peter Horvath, Albin Geselius. The positions, they run away now. He's coming probably behind Theodor Mugelset also, maybe at the 6th position. Yeah, he will be 6th position at the moment in the finish, 16 seconds behind Tuomas Uttinen. And I think a lot of the runners have been doing the wrong route choice to the last control, where we saw that Tuomas turn around and actually gained some seconds, even though he had broken skis. So I think you see here he is before Tuomas there. So we see Stanimir Belmashev in a clear lead, and he takes a really big shortcut. Has to go back, perhaps loses some time there. And then he doesn't go Tuomas' shortcut, but I think he does the best route choice to the control, keeping going downhill all the way. And if you keep the right wide track there, you have to go up. And I think that's why Rasmus Wikbom, for example, lost some time. Here we have who I think is the best home skier, Tobias Habenicht. As I said, a really good cross-country skier. He has also been out in the World Cup series in cross-country skiing, and well, that's his that's the best part of a ski orienteering. Of course, then he has a really good legs and heart to go fast on the wide tracks, but being able now to practice at home for home World Championships, we will see how far he can come. So he was 6th position last year when the World Cup was in Ramsau. So we know he likes this terrain. Actually, the World Cup wasn't at the premises since the lack of snow, but it was planned to be in Ramsau. Here we have Stanimir Belmashev. I think he is the first one of these guys. Oh, he will take the biggest lead we see yet today, with almost a minute. Stanimir Belmashev, the Bulgarian. I think that this definitely could be a medal race. You see, he has been faster than Tuomas all the way. He has just kept on going, and I think that this race from Stanimir is really good. Will be interesting to see how the Finnish Apo Vippola, Niklas Ekström, and Jürgen Buckley can catch him. We see actually here Apo Vippola, and he is behind. it doesn't look like Appo Vippola. Here we have him. Number 57 has the shape to do something to Stanimir Belomashev. And you will see, he will probably be behind Tuomas Uotinen still. And Appo actually was one of my favorites, even though his World University Ski-orienteering Championship wasn't that good. But he's too far behind Stanimir, and we know that Stanimir hasn't done... We saw one small mistake. There can be some seconds when he tried to make a shortcut and had to go back. But we will see. Otherwise, I think that now they are out in the forest, and we know that the two last starters, Jonathan Ståhl, Swedish athlete who won the European Champs last year, and Jörgen Backlid, the number one to beat, the World Cup winner, the best ranked in the world. He is also here. And now we have Styrk Kamsvåg, Norwegian, and it looks like he will also be behind Stanimir. At the moment, here in the first field control, you see we have Stanimir 12 seconds ahead of Appo Vippola, but we know Appo has lost some time. You see Styrk here. He's probably going to be out in the cluster there around 20 seconds behind Stanimir. Then he has lost some time. But I think that it's Stanimir that holds a really great pace here out in the forest. Now we see some Swedish athlete, I think. Was it Gustav Nordström? No, it's Henrik Fredriksson Aas. Not the same body type at all. But Henrik has also lost some time. He was 19 seconds behind at TV1, and he has lost some more time. But you see, it's Stanimir Belomashev's race, just climbing and climbing. And also Tuomas Uotinen, still second position out there in the split, number 2, and in the finish. So we will see that if someone can try and beat Stanimir. Of course, someone's gonna try. We'll see. Probably Tobias Habenicht, next star, yeah. And he will be behind. We don't see him yet. Which means that when we see him, he will be around 15-20 seconds more. So he will be behind and be around position 4, 5, 6. Somewhere there. Stable start. And definitely in the race for the medals so far. We'll see. Here, yeah, he comes up to the control. He's around 20 seconds behind. The positions there are really tight. 7th position, but only, I would say, 5 or 6 seconds. And there, he takes the right route choice. I don't think that's the best one to the on the long control. We will see what Tobias do. And here we have Evert Toivonen coming to the finish. Evert, he has had not the best race. I said he was stable today. He has had some issues out in the forest. Evert Toivonen coming in, maybe top 10. We will see at the moment. But as I said, he was top 6, 7 out of 9 World Cup races this year, last year. So I think he's not so pleased with this race. He's coming in there. Position 11, 1.5 minutes behind Stanimir Belomashev.
21 seconds behind leading Stanimir Belomashev.
But we know that Stanimir has a lead with 52 seconds, so maybe not so far behind everyone else. It's just Stanimir that has done an incredible race. And here we have number 60, can it be Niklas Ekström, I think? Yes, Niklas, who did a really good first season as a senior last year with he took some silver medals at the European Champs, and he was number 3 in the World Cup Series. I think this is a new second best time. He will be behind Stanimir Belomashev, but probably before Tuomas Uotinen. Yeah, as I said, Niklas Ekström. He was 3rd at the sprint distance European Champs last year, and when it was the World Champs 2 years before that, he won all the 4 gold medals at home soil in Kemi, Finland. So he is here. He is clearly behind Stanimir Belomashev, but clearly before Tuomas Uotinen at 3rd position. So he's 19 seconds behind Stanimir, and this is a medal conspiring race for Niklas. Here we have number 66 to the start. and that is Misa Tuomala. So we have Misa Tuomala, and then we have Jonathan Ståhl and Jörgen Bartlid. Then we have all the athletes out in the forest. So Misa, the Finnish athlete, he has been in the he has been competing for a long time. He actually took a junior world championship medal in Sumi 2011. And here we have very interesting starter, Nicola Müller. He has a really good shape. We saw that at the World University Ski-orienteering Championships in Lenzerheide last year. He is quite close to Stanimir Belamashev here. You saw his pace coming up there. He is only 6 seconds behind Stanimir. So the first one to compete. Here we have Apo Vippula. Can he finish to the second position? Yes, he will be number 2 at the moment. Apo Vippula, number 2 at the sprint distance last year. No, he was 5th actually. But still a really good race. And you see he does the same. I think, yeah, he lost some time there, but you see he gains the time on Tuomas Uutinen and leaves him behind. Here we have one of the biggest favorites today, Jonathan Ståhl, Swedish athlete, reigning European champion in the sprint distance, and I know his shape has been really good this year. He took the gold medal at the World University Ski-orienteering Championships in Lenzerheide last week. He was 1 second before Nicola Müller and 5 before Apo Vippula. So his shape is really good. And I know this is something he has longed for the entire summer. He has trained really well. His training record is really good. So we will see what Jonathan can do out in the forest. Here I think we have Henrik Fredriksen Aas. It looks like him. Yes, number 58. And he has done a good ending at this race. Probably no mistakes, into the second position. Only 23 seconds behind. Henrik Fredriksen Aas catched 7 seconds from the TV control to the finish on Stanimir Belamashev. I think Henrik, you should look really happy with that, because that is perhaps in the fight for the medal. We will see, but the top starters, the top ranked always go last. And here we have Tobias Havenicht, number 62, coming towards split 2. And we know he had a good start. I think that he has lost some time going the right route choice to the 5th control, trying to explore the wide tracks more, since that's one of his strengths. But he looks like he has lost some time. He will probably be around 7th, 8th position here. So still a good race from Tobias, but not the prime, really. So we will see. It looks quite close up, actually. So maybe if he does a really good ending, and we know he's strong in the skiing, can catch some time. He's 9th position, 41 seconds behind, but we know that Stanimir Belamashev leads there with 30 seconds. So very interesting. Also very interesting to see that Henrik Fredriksen Aas actually could gain time on Stanimir in the end. So probably the one when he went out to the second last control, trying to make a shortcut and had to almost turn back. So we are waiting for Misa Tuomala, the Finnish athlete. If he can, I think he is he is behind, and I think this it looks like he's struggling a bit with the pace. You saw Nicola Müller earlier with much shorter and faster skiing. Still almost in the cluster here. He's almost 30 seconds behind Stanimir Belamashev here after 4 minutes for Misa. So we will see. And here we have John Schneider. He did really good in Lenzerheide last week, but today is not his day. John has had big difficulties, and I think probably something with the shortcutting, doing it in the wrong direction and losing his compass there and where he is. He is into position 14, 1:34 after, but very interesting to see. Behind Sean Schneider, Niklas Ekström, the number 2, tied with Henrik Fredriksen Aas at TV control 2. Yeah, he comes here. And we will see. We get to see the watch. He's in the finish there, and he's still exactly the same time as Henrik Fredriksson Aas, and that is a new tight second place for Niklas. Now we get to see Nicola Müller's back. He knows exactly where he's going hard downhill, and I think this is a new second best time, clearly the closest one to Stanimir Belomashev this far. Yeah, it's not many seconds for Nicola, and then we know that Niklas Ekström and Henrik Fredriksson Aas both had gained 7 seconds on Stanimir from here to the finish, and Nicola is 7 seconds behind. So very interesting to see. We see the GPS here, how the different athletes go. Actually, Niklas Ekström goes around there, and he has really good pace. You see, he's catching Henrik all the way, so he was really strong. I think that was he lost some seconds on the route choice, but so strong. And now we should have Jonathan Ståhl on his way to the first TV control, or maybe we actually he has been here already. Jonathan is number 6, 19 seconds behind. We have Jürgen Backlid, the last starter, the best one in the world, the guy to beat, and he is probably quite close to Stanimir Belomashev here. He doesn't leave anyone disappointed. Jürgen Backlid, he is punching the first TV control. He is 1 second behind Stanimir. So really interesting race. Jürgen Backlid will see if he can continue this pace. Styrk Kamsvåg coming to the finish and has ended the race really good. He will be probably position 5 in the finish, 44 seconds behind Stanimir Belomashev. So this will be a good position in the end for Styrk Kamsvåg. Not the medals, but there are not so many behind him that can beat him. So actually he lost some time in the beginning, but then got better. Now we have Vegard Gulbrandsen here, the Norwegian athlete, and he will be a bit behind. I think Vegard probably have done some small mistake. He will be around maybe top 10, something like there. A strong Norwegian athlete, Vegard Gulbrandsen. A lot of the Norwegian athletes are quite young and gaining still a lot of routine every time they come out and play. So you see here, 10th position, 11th position. He is there, tied almost with Björnar Kvalle, who won the sprint at the first World Cup race last year in Ramsau. So we will see. Now we have at the TV1. Here it looks like we have some of the athletes coming. TV1, we have Stanimir Belomashev leading 1 second before Jürgen Backlid, 6 seconds before Nicola Müller, and then we have a lot of runners 15, 16, 17 seconds behind. Here we have Tobias Habenicht coming towards the finish. We knew he was at place 10 at TV2. See if he has done a good ending or how it is going for him. It looks like he has lost some time, Tobias, in the end. The places is taking away, the seconds is taking away, and he has probably lost some positions. He has done some mistake. But the best Austrian guy at the first distance, the sprint distance at this World Championship in ski-orienteering 2024. Fighting towards Mattis Yama, 13th position. I don't think he will make it. And almost. He will be 1 second before Rasmus Wikbom at position number 14. So then we know we have Nicola Müller, we have Jürgen Backlid, we have Jonathan Ståhl out in the forest. We have Misa Tomala here. He makes the shortcut all the way to the TV control, and that looked really fast. Very interesting to see Jonathan Ståhl and Jürgen Backlid. If they can go straight to that control, I think they can gain some seconds. Misa was probably some seconds behind before that. I think that was a good route choice or a good shortcut. Here we have Stanimir Belomashev comparing to Nicola Müller, and we see that Nicola also takes a really big shortcut. Nicola Müller, I think he's losing his medal position there. We have Björnar Kvalle here. he was 47 seconds behind. Yeah, and he's still 40 seconds. So since EV2, he had done the same time as Stanimir. But Nicola Müller, sadly, that was not good for him. We know that we have Niklas Ekström and Henrik Eriksson As at number second position at the moment, and we saw that Nicola lost time there. So that shortcut, there you see, it's easy also to think that you should shortcut everywhere, but when it goes so fast out to the wide track and you can pump up on the wide track, he lost time there. And we see Nicola, we hear the cheering from the crowd. He's going really hard, and it's a lot of snow on the tracks. We will see how his time will be compared. He will be behind Stanimir Belomashev, but comparing to Niklas Ekström and Henrik Eriksson As, he is too late. He lost his medal there, probably his medal, I would say, at the last shortcut to the second last control. And he will be... you see, he was only 11 seconds behind Stanimir before that problem. So he had the medals in his hand, and now he will be coming into the 5th position as it looks. Yes. Time 4 with Nicola. Here we have Jörgen Backlid, and then he is at TV2, and I think he was really close. Actually, 8 seconds before Stanimir, and I think that is the shortcut that they took. The shortcut into the control. So Jörgen Backlid, looking like the favorite, might keep his race together. But we know now that Nicola Müller has made a shortcut. People behind will see this shortcut, and they will probably think, okay, there's a shortcut here, this will be good. So that is, I would say, the one of the last obstacles for Jörgen Backlid here in the end. And Jonathan Ståhl, you see, has also been here, but he is 8th position. So I think that, but you see, Jonathan is 1 second before Henrik Fredriksen As. So if he can finish really good, he can perhaps go into the bronze medal position. So we will see what Jonathan can do in the end. We know he's strong. And here we have Vegard Gulbrandsen towards the finish. Vegard, who was at the TV2, he was number 14, but I think he has ended really strongly. You see, the Norwegian has ended this race really good, and he comes into the 4th position, 35 seconds behind. And we know that he was only... he has gained 21 seconds on Stanimir in the end. So time is ticking, and time is able to catch on Stanimir. So we get to see now Backlid, Belomashev, Ekström and As going this course. And you see they make the same shortcut towards the 6th control. And there it looks like they stopped a bit for Backlid. And Belomashev doing really good. I think we will see now towards the 9th control. You see, there Stanimir made, I would say, a worse route choice going up, and doesn't believe it will be a route choice. And we have Jörgen Backlid here being chased by Stanimir Belomashev. So very interesting to see in the end who will do the best route choices here. We have Misa Tuomala towards the finish, and he will be somewhat behind. I think perhaps around not top 10 position. It looks like he's not really certain where he is going either. He's coming there. Yeah, turning around into the last control. Or turning left. But you see he's coming from the finish. So a totally different route choice. Not exactly where he is. But I don't think that was the best route choice from Misa. He doesn't look like he knows where he's going. He has to come to the last control, Misa. Or has he missed the second last control? Oh, this is devastating for Misa. Really sad to see this ending. But we know that Jonathan Ståhl started 30 seconds behind Misa. 1.5 minutes, but now it's only 30 seconds for Jonathan to beat Stanimir Belomashev. So Stanimir Belomashev, he will have a medal today. We will see in which color it will be. And here we have Misa, and we don't see Jonathan Ståhl yet. So I think that there can be a tied bronze between Ekström and Fredriksen As. We have to see Jonathan really soon if he is gonna be able to catch some time. Misa Tuomala into the finish here. Lost a lot of time in the end there. And it will be 1:45. Here we have Jörgen Backlid. You can see it. He's really easy skiing. It looks like he doesn't push so much, but he has a really good skiing technique. And he'll start at 3 minutes behind Misa Tuomala, so he has almost 1 minute to beat Stanimir Velomashchev. And here I think is there's still Jörgen Backlid. Maybe he has passed. Now we have Jonathan Ståhl on the finish sprinting line, sprinting towards the finish into number 5th position. He will be 6th today. So we see here Jörgen Backlid, and I think this is the gold medal winner. This is the number 1. He was the number 1 in the starting list. He was the number 1 in the world ranking, and he has left no one disappointed. Looking at the time, he will definitely win this with more than 20 seconds. Jörgen Backlid, today's world champion in sprint distance. You see, he was behind in the beginning, but ended tremendously good. And he knew exactly what. He didn't do any mistakes and just left the other contestants behind. So finally getting the World Championship medal in the gold medal in sprint distance, Jörgen Backlid. So Jörgen will have to cheer today. Here we see the final results. Jörgen Backlid first, 23 seconds before Stanimir Velomashchev, the Bulgarian, and 46 seconds down to the tied bronze medalist Henrik Fredriksen As from Norway and Niklas Ekström. 5th position, Vegard Guldbrandsen. 6th position, Jonathan Ståhl. And you see here, it's 1 minute down to 5th position. This is a really good starting point for Jörgen Backlid, since he will start tomorrow's pursuit 23 seconds before Stanimir, and then just following the list. We see here Thomas Uotinen, 11th place, Peter Horvath, 12th place, and a lot of Swedes and Swiss athletes at this. The best home skier, Tobias Habenicht, at 19th position. Sean Schneider, Evert Toivonen. I think they are quite disappointed with this race, 2 minutes behind, and these guys will have difficulties doing something really good tomorrow. There will be a quite big group there, around 2 minutes, but still to be able to catch 2 minutes on Jörgen Backlid is a really hard thing to do. The best Japanese, Yuki Ishihara, 37th position, 3.5 minutes, and quite big time differences, even though it's a lot of downhill, and I think it is because of you probably do a lot of shortcutting. We saw some shortcutting mistakes, so we will see. We will get a replay from the top three or top 4, as it is a tied bronze medal, to see how they went this race. But I think when you do the shortcut, you have to be in full control and also having foresight. So when you come out to the track again, you need to know where to go. And Jörgen Backlid, he was completely in full control out there. Really impressive race by the
Jörgen
Norwegian.
Backlid, the world champion in sprint distance. How was it out there?
It was really fun. We knew from the start it was going to be a lot of downhill with a lift to the start, and I enjoyed it very much. It was quite tricky. We didn't see the scooter tracks there well because of the snow, and because it is so hard on the snow is hard, so the scooter don't go so much down in the snow. But I lost control to the first control already because all the shortcuts, and I started just to orienteer on the vegetation, and then I hit the first control and was quite happy, and then I pushed from there, and it was really fun. I'm satisfied.
Did you have any feeling of how it was going during the race?
Nah, not so much. I thought myself I was going good, not doing any especially mistakes. It was the first control where I was a bit insecure, but apart from that, I was quite happy. And when I came down to the second to last control and saw Jonathan as well, I knew, okay, I have had a good pace, and the race must be quite good.
How do you like competing here in Ramsau?
I love the ski in the Alps so much. It was so much fun here last year, and I was in Lenzerheide and competing at the VRE races there as well. And yeah, I enjoy the Alp ski very much.
And what are your thoughts for the rest of these championships now?
I said before the championships, I was if I get 1 gold, I will be happy, but I will aim for 4.
So what does this gold medal mean to you?
It means a lot. This I've been training for, and I have the middle and pursuit from before, so it was the sprint I was missing. So yeah, I'm very, very pleased.
Big congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, now we get to see the GPS from the top 3 or 4 athletes today. Yeah, you heard Jörgen actually had some difficulties with the shortcutting in the beginning. He had to navigate from the borders of the vegetation. But after that, really solid race and understood. Yeah, you see the best here, they take the wide track up to the 3rd control. And I think Henrik Eriksson lost some seconds there. Belomashev and Barklid already in the quite early lead. And it was quite hard to see the tracks since a lot of snow and a lot of shortcuts also makes it hard. When a lot of people have gone there, it's hard to know if it's a scooter or it's a lot of skiers. You see here Belomashev and Barklid going really good. Probably some small mistake from Barklid there in the shortcutting. Belomashev catch some seconds, but then we know to the 8th control that Belomashev didn't take the best shortcut into the 8th control. They take the same shortcut here. We see Belomashev in the lead, and then he went up there and lost quite a lot of seconds. And we know also that Jörgen has
Ladies and gentlemen,
made some seconds in the end towards Stanimir. Probably the shortcut out from number 13, Belomashev, lost time on there. And you see here, it's a lot of shortcuts out in the forest, and I think it will be quite tricky for the ladies also to know which shortcut should we take. Now when 5 classes have been out in the forest and making a lot of shortcuts. You see here Jörgen making really stable, and they do the same route choice, but he just keeps on going in front of Stanimir. And here we'll see that Stanimir goes out there and has to go back almost to the wide track, and Jörgen only disappears away. And that's also where Niklas Ekström and Henrik Fredriksson As. But here Ekström is quite before As, and you see that the right route choice to the 14th control was quite many seconds slower. And here he is behind, but going really hard to catch those seconds of Henrik and into the tied bronze medal with him. Very stable race from all of these runners, I would say. It's small shortcuts, small seconds here or there. It looks like Jörgen Barklid and Stanimir Belomashev were the fastest guys also out there. Yeah, again you see the result lists, and they have to celebrate now, and then tomorrow the pursuit, you have to get in some food in the body and just try to focus again. It's like the biathlon with the sprint and then the pursuit afterwards. And we will quite soon have the flower ceremony for the best competitors. And here we see the number 13 and 15, the first year seniors, Albin Geselius and Theodor Mo Hjelstedt, were 2 of the best juniors last year, and trying to get up in the positions here at the senior distances. And as I said, those guys that are 2 to 3 minutes behind today, it'll be really hard if you're slower today. Try to catch up time on the best ski orienteers in the world. So there can of course be mistakes, and if there are shortcuts, they can go faster if you come behind. But I think it will be tough for those who are more than 2.5 minutes behind.
Please come to the flower ceremony.
Okay, we have the athletes for the flower ceremony.
We are still waiting for the winner. Please, Jörgen Barklid, come to the flower ceremony.
He's fast in the terrain, Jörgen, but he also has to be fast here to be able to come to the flower ceremony. He's the guy that they are waiting for, and he is the most important guy. So he's probably trying his best to come quite fast to the flower ceremony. We see that the Norwegian red-blue jacket on Henrik Fredriksen Aas is there. We see that the Finnish Niklas Ekström is there, and also Stanimir Belmachev.
Flower ceremony, we are waiting, and TV is waiting too.
We have Stanimir Belmachev there in the black jacket. And quite fast after this, we will change over to the women's race. But we want to have the flower ceremony and close the men's sprint distance. So this World Championship first day sprint distance.
Ski-orienteering Championships 2024 Ramsau, Austria. Meine Damen und Herren, die Flower Ceremony für das Sprintrennen der Herren an der Ski-OL-WM 2024. The flowers are handed over by Leo Haltner, the president of the IOF. Die Blumen werden übergeben durch Leo Haltner, der Präsident des Internationalen Orientierungslaufverbandes. Third place. Representing Norway and representing Finland. Auf dem geteilten dritten Platz aus Finnland und Norwegen. Henrik Fredriksen Aas und Niklas Ekström. Second place. Representing Bulgaria. Auf dem zweiten Rang für Bulgarien Stanimir Belmachev. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner representing Norway. Meine Damen und Herren, der Gewinner dieses Sprintrennens aus Norwegen, Jörgen Barklid. Give a big applause to the top 4 athletes at this sprint race here at the World Ski-Orienteering Championships 2024 in Austria.
Come on, everybody! Clap your hands! Oh, you're looking good! I'm going to sing my song. It won't take long. We're going to do the twist, and it goes like this. Come on, let's twist again. Like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again. Like we did last year.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, then we looking forward to the women distance instead of the men. So we know that the first have started. We see here they have 400 meters shorter. They have 3.1 kilometers, the same estimated winning time 14 minutes, and we know that Jürgen Backlid, he went on 13 minutes, so probably the ladies can catch some time here. We see they have the same starting point, and their course will start in a similar way as the men's course. And we know that there's a lot of shortcuts there. As Jürgen Backlid said, it was really tricky to keep control on where he was. And the same second control, and then the third control is the same. And we know that going up to the wide, the solid green line is the best there. And then we see the TV split is at the control form, just as the same as the men had. So they will probably be there in around 4 minutes. And also here, having the longer leg to the fifth control. And there was very obvious that the best route choice was going slightly south of the line, really close to the line all the way. And just being able to ski fast and having the foresight so you know exactly where to go. Then they have the sixth control, the seventh control. It's exactly same here. We know that they made a lot of shortcuts out there in the forest. We have also seen some runners doing the mistakes here. Then we come to the eighth control, where we saw that the silver medalists, Stanimir Belamashev, lost some time on Jürgen Backlid. And then control 9, TV split 2. And then we see after that they will have a slightly different course. Then it's more directly to the finish. And they have quite easy leg to the 9th control, and then the same to 11th. And that would be really interesting to see if some of the runners go out on the longer shortcuts here. We know there are shortcuts, many shortcuts towards the 12th control there. And that we know that you should turn around to the 13th control. It's a lot, some seconds behind, faster than going right. So there will be time and seconds to gain all this route, all this course. So we will see how the ladies do in the beginning, and very important to try and keep control over the orienteering, as we saw in the men's distance. Here we get to see some of the legs, and we know that the red one is looking clearly like it's not so far from the control line, but we know that the athletes went straight there, and also even into the control they did a small shortcut. You don't see it like it should be faster. Here we have our skier again, but as I said earlier, when it goes like this fast and it's bumpy on these narrow tracks, that's the stretch line, or these narrow tracks, snowmobile tracks, that will go mostly with the double pulling up there, and it's quite a sharp turn there. So if you're able to do a shortcut there and you get like the snow that is coming, it breaks for you. So it's, you don't need to brake, you just stand in the snow and you have the right direction, and you'll come to the right place with the right pace. So it's very interesting. And I think since they want to turn around in this control and take directly right, they go out with a shortcut. It goes really fast, they go out to the left so they can come into the control in the right direction and turn around directly. So that's probably why they have been doing the shortcut in the end, even though maybe to the control it's not the fastest. But when you should go out, you have to count in everything. When you also need to go out from the control and you want to keep the speed and don't fall too much on the height, it's definitely the best. And this control, we also saw that the red route choice that we see our skier here is going is not the fastest. We saw the shortcuts been made almost parallel to the purple control line, and also a small shortcut into the control from the straight narrow track there. So this is route choice that we won't be seeing from the best, and if we see it from the best, they will lose time. So but probably since you go out from the 7 control, it's very easy. You have to go in that direction, and then you come to the first corner and you see here a lot of people has gone straight. I'm going straight also. And here we have the start list. Stefania Corradini, a really strong skier, the Italian. She has also been out on the World Cup in cross-country skiing, so she's really strong, and will, if she gets the orienteering done, she can set a really good time here in the beginning. And then we are coming here. Number 130 is one of my favorites today, Elin Schagerström. 4 gold medals at the World University Ski Orienteering Championships last week in Lenzerheide. And here we also have the best runners. Well, one of the she's always a favorite when she's starting. Tove Alexandersson, the Swedish superstar, the megastar. She has been sick actually, but since there is quite a lot of downhill, I think she can be able to keep up with the pace. And here we have number 110, Alexandra Parkomenko from Ukraine. Very fun to see the Ukraine ski orienteers out here today, and going out here towards the first control. As I said, I think also we have in the women's class there are a lot of strong Swedish ladies. We know Linda Lindqvist. Last year she got sick during the championship, the European Championship, but she was so impressive in Ramsau at the World Cup pre-World Championship last year. She won all the 3 races, and she will definitely want to be up there this year to fight for the medals. We also have comebacking mom, Magdalena Olsson. She gave birth to her first daughter in July, and she has been coming really strong in the domestic races they have been doing. Also been in the Finnish races. If we go out from the Swedish athletes, Daisy Kuder-Schneider, the Estonian girl who was the one who crushed at the European Championship instead last year. She won all the 3 gold medals. She is definitely one of the favorites. But actually, I listened to the IOF podcast with her, and even though she has been living in Switzerland for 3 years, she's not 100% certain of how she likes the Central European ski orienteering. But I would say that today it's not so much Central European ski orienteering. It's a lot of orienteering you have to do. It goes fast. It's a lot of shortcuts. And even though Daisy did not show really good pace, she actually got beaten 2 races by the Norwegian Anna Ulvenson. I think she will be in the medal talking, and I think she will take a medal. She's so stable with the orienteering. And also, then we have to say her, Anna Ulvenson. If Daisy did not show good form, Anna did. 2 minutes before Daisy at the sprint distance, even though Daisy may not have done her best race, that says something about Anna Ulvenson's shape, and will be interesting to see. Here we have number 101, Stefania Corradini, taking the shortcut into the 8th control. You see here, she passes here and then she goes straight. Yeah, there she takes off and now it looks like there's so many who have made the shortcuts. It's almost like a narrow track. So she punches the control there, coming down to the TV split and braking a bit too much, in my opinion. I would say it's quite bumpy down here. Of course, you don't want to fall, but you also need to be offensive and try to gain some seconds easy in the downhill. And I think she lost some seconds there. We know, for example, Tove Alexandersson, who did a slightly comeback last year and definitely come back to the championship this year. She is fierce downhill, so we will see. Corradini there, 12:26 at the TV2. She is also in the lead at the first TV control. And here we have Hibiko Sano, the Japanese skier. She is approximately 2.5 minutes behind. Yeah, 2:35 at the 4th position, and she's almost being catched up by Asem Nasirova, the Kazaki runner. But we know she is also then more than a minute behind Stefania in this early stage of the race. Yeah, almost the 2nd position there, just behind Nedjalkova, the Bulgarian skier. So it will be interesting to see. I think the really good, the one who set the pace will probably be Stefania, and then we have some younger Norwegian, Åsne Havengen, started like 1 minute ago. Can, if she finds her way, have a good pace, and then the best runners, they come around 13, 15. Then they are coming, and here we have Heta Virtanen, a young Finnish athlete. She is a strong skier, I would say, and the difficulty for Heta is probably to well, it is for everyone, but she's so strong. I think she has to keep her cool with the map, and also, you know, going your first world championship, it's a lot of nerves. They take the ski jumping lift up to the start. You get to sit there and you get to start wondering with your mind, how will this be? It's easy to get more nervous than you should be. Everyone always says you should think that it is a normal race. Well, it isn't. I would say all athletes know this isn't a normal race. This is the world championship. And like for Heta here, she will probably think, I need to do the best race of my life to be really good. So that's put a lot of pressure. And we see here Stefania Corradini doing the shortcut here. And we know that that's not the fastest route choice. But as I said, the men has been going there. You come there, you have been doing a lot of shortcuts. But I would say it's too steep. It goes too fast on the wide tracks. You should just try to go on the wide tracks and keep pushing, because here it's too steep to ski. They will probably like go with the skis and I would say in Sweden we say textil, like a clothing brake. So you put your bum down in the snow and you brake with that, and then it doesn't go so fast. And when you also come out to the wide track as she's coming now, she has no speed left. So even if it will be quite fast to the wide track, the athlete that comes from the wide track from the left or from the north, they will have so much speed, they will pass her directly. So there we saw it took a lot of time. And I think here is the Åsne, no, it's Antonia Erhardt, the Austrian. No, actually it was the Norwegian. Sorry, it was, is it number Teresa Krastova? No, it's Åsne Havengen, number 112. Yes, Åsne Havengen. I'm sorry for that. She will be really close to Stefania Corradini, only 3 seconds. So as I said, Åsne could be here, and we also have, I would say, some of the better athletes down there. Could it be the Finnish Kaisa Clementinen that's coming behind her? No, she can't be that fast. Teresa Krastova? Yeah, it is. Kaisa Clementinen taking a big lead there. Number 113. Yeah, 37 seconds ahead of Stefania Corradini. And also, you saw there Kaisa catching up on athletes starting before her and being able to, on this long leg, looking at Åsne's back. Looking forward to Åsne's back and maybe catching some more seconds there. Here we have Johanka Simkova, Czech athlete, going out to the finish. She has had a severe knee operation, but worked hard and trained a lot to be able to go here in the World Ski-orienteering Championships. And she was in Lensride, and I think she was third at some of the races there. So showing good shape, even though she was some time behind Anna Ulvensson and Daisy Kudre Schneider. But you know how good they are. So we'll see how Johanka can do in this terrain. So that time from Kaisa Clementinen at first TV control, almost 30 seconds before Stefania Corradini, can be interesting to follow. And we saw in the men's race, Tuomas Uutinen, he had the lead for quite a long time. And even when Stanimir Belmashev overtook him, he was number 2 for a very long time. So doing a good race in the beginning, it can lead to really high positions in the end of the result list, even though, as I said before, the 15 last starters are the best ranked. And here we have the first women into the finish. It's Stefania Corradini. She started first. She was in the lead for quite a long time, but we saw some big mistake in the shortcut in the end, coming into the finish 18:22. And I think that she will be quite a long time after the best skiers in the day's race. Here we have the Austrian Antonia Erhardt coming up to the first TV control, taking the other route choice, losing some time there, and also probably losing time on more places. She's more than 1 minute behind here, so 1:23 after Kaisa Clementinen, who is in the lead. And we know that after Antonia, here comes Heta Virtanen. That's much better time. She will not beat her team mate Kaisa, but she will at least be better than Antonia. Probably had some issues also her here in the beginning of the race, but still 50 seconds after Kaisa here. And we know that after Heta we had Florina Miller, the Swiss lady, starting. And I was thinking after seeing last week's races that the Swiss athletes would be really good. And actually here I think one of the Swedes, a young Swede, Anna Asa, I know she is good downhill. I know she is good technically. Maybe she needs some more years to be as fast as the strongest ladies uphill. But I think that Anna can actually surprise a lot today if she gets to the finish as she knows she can do. But she is a strong orienteer. She's strong downhill, and will be highly interesting to see how she starts this race. And here it looks like we have another runner down to the T2, Asem Nasirova. And we know that Asem was almost 1 minute behind Stefania at the first TV control, so she hasn't lost much more time. She's been going good in this second part of the course, and is here at the second position. We don't have so many athletes here at the moment, but now she's doing crucial. She turned around. It could be a crucial mistake if she would have gone there, but she sorted it out. She knew no, I have to go left, but I think still it's the best to go the direction she goes now. Otherwise she would have lost a lot of height. Here we have the Norwegian. I think it is Birgit Kleppa-Madslien. Yes, she is quite close to her teammate Asne Havengen, and we also see that Florina Miller has gone in there just half a second before Birgit. So they are 44 seconds after Kaisa, and Kaisa has been out. She's quite close to the TV2. I think she can be if she has done really good there, but we will see when she comes. After Birgit, we had Johanka Simkova started, and the time is ticking, so she will not be able to beat Kaisa. And I think she also takes the slightly slower narrow track up here, as we see her in the left of the screen. So I think that she will lose some time up here also. You see a lot of snow has fallen. Now it doesn't fall so much, but she will lose because a lot of athletes have taken the first one. And she is almost catched up by Andrea Diaksova. Andrea, really good Bulgarian athlete, but taking the same here as Johanka and probably losing time. You see,
do the picture.
When you go uphill like that, they when it's so steep uphill, they go out with one ski not on the track, so it's in the snow. And if a lot of skiers have gone there, they They push down the snow and it's much easier. But we see Johanka here. She's only 1 minute behind, and we know Andrea started 1 minute behind her, so she will be probably a second best time there. And here we have Kaisa Clementinen down towards the second TV control and almost catching up Hibiko Sana. Actually, she has been not faster than Asne Havengen, but we know Asne, maybe she had a slower start. But I think Kaisa did some small mistake to the 8 control because she lost almost 20 seconds on Asne there. So a really good race from Kaisa, but not without mistakes. So we see, and we also should see which runners we have here. It's a very winter landscape now with the snow that fell, and hard to see that they had to move the World Cup last year when it looks like this in the forest. Truly beautiful, and like ski orienteering should be. It's fast and it's a lot of snow. And here we have towards the finish the Bulgarian athlete. I think it's Kalina Nedyalkova. Yes, Kalina is coming here, and she is quite a far time behind Stefania Corradini. So we will see in the end how that turns out. She is now at the second position, also number 2 into the finish. But even though the track system, it's not really super tight. And here we have Anna Asa coming up to the first TV control. We should see how her time looks like. Yeah, she is not faster than Kaisa, but it will be a new second best time here. So a good start from the Swedish athlete. And now we know that it's almost just downhill left of the race. We know that Kaisa actually had lost some time. So we will see. And here we have a replay. We will also see Satu Tuomisto, Anna Asa and Kaisa Clementinen. And they go the right here and they take the shortcuts. We see that Anna got stuck there. Kaisa Clementinen going down there. And yeah, here is why she is in the lead, because she took the fastest route choice to the third control and gained some time on the other runners there. And we see Satu Tuomisto, she's live. So she is approximately as Anna Asa coming up here, the Finnish athlete. Yes, coming up here and going a lot on the arms here. Strong skier, Satu Tuomisto. It's heavy, and as Jörgen Backlid, the winner in the men's class, said, it's quite mushy. It's when it comes so much snow, it's soft in the snow, and it's really heavy to go uphill. So Satu working really hard and coming up here to the first TV control in a new third best time.
I can do it, maybe.
And we will see now. There are better ranked runners all the time, so I think they will be trying to beat Kaisa Clementinen's time quite soon. And I think we have Kaisa here coming to the finish. But it looks like she may do the same mistake as Misa Tuomala did. We will see. It's not the best route choice, that we know. She takes the right route choice. There she goes into this shortcut, and it's definitely not the best. She tries to pass Hibiko Sana, but and she does that, but I think she will lose time on that route choice. Not as much as her teammate Misa Tuomala did. And still she will take a great lead, tremendous lead. But I think it says maybe more about the athletes that have gone before her. We know Kaisa has done a good race. She's still in the lead at TV1. She has done some small mistakes, lost some time, but still in the lead at TV2. And a stable race from Kaisa Clementinen. Looking, she has a lot of power left, and I think this time will take some while before someone beats it. Now she's starting to get down to the 14 minutes that the course setter has talked about. 15:08 lead with 3.14 seconds here for Kaisa. And we have also had the Japanese athlete Hibiko Sana. Welcome to the finish. And she goes into the... No, it was not Hibiko. It was Sumika Takano. Yeah, she started 2 minutes before Hibika. So she was into the finish. And here we have another Finnish athlete. I think it's Nina Kärne coming, number 124. Yes, and Nina Kärne going into the 4th position, 16 seconds behind Kaisa Clementina. And we also see Alina Nigli in there at the 3rd position, 9 seconds behind only. And here we have Norwegian again. I think it's Birgit Dorothea Kleppa Madslien, and she has lost more time on Kaisa. She is 1:09 behind and 4th place at the moment, with 12 seconds up to Heta Virtanen at the 3rd position. So she was 44 seconds behind with the TV1, and now she has lost almost 40 seconds more. Now we get to see here Anna Asa and Satu Tuomisto compared to Kaisa Clementina. And we know that Kaisa was before. It looks like Anna... there she had to stop. So Kaisa gained some meters. And we know that the route choice that Anna takes there, she catches some seconds again. But there is a mistake from Anna Asa, not being brave enough to take the shortcut there. She will lose time there. And here we have Elin Schagerström. 4 gold medals at the World University Ski-orienteering Championship 1.5 weeks ago. She was impeccable. The other runners had no chance. And we will see how this stands to the older athletes at the World Championship. But Elin Schagerström, her shape is good. I think mentally she really is in the state that she wants to be. And we will see how this goes. After her, it is Magdalena Olsson going away. So now they are coming, the big guns. And here we have Andrea Diaksova. She has catched up Johanka Simkova, but looks like she has lost some time on Kaisa Clementina. Kaisa's race looking really solid and fast. Here we have on the finish line, on the sprint, I think it's Heta Virtanen who has passed Antonia Ehrhardt. Heta coming in here, the best athlete by these 3. She is going into the new 2nd best time, so she has finished really good. She was 50 seconds behind at TV2 and is 59 seconds into the finish. A really good closing of the race from Heta Virtanen, going into the new 2nd best time of the Kaisa Clementina. And here we have Magdalena Olsson, comebacking mom. She has a lot of medals in her cabinet, but not from last year. She took the silver at the sprint in the World Championship 2022 in Kemi, and I think she is looking to the medals, looking to the gold. She wants to have it. She has had a really good season opener and becoming stronger every race, I would say. So she has a lot of routine. And here we have Anna Asa coming down to the TV2. Now we should see, yeah, she has catch time on Kaisa, even though we saw her not taking the route choice. Actually, she hasn't catch time. She was only 8 seconds after at TV1, but still in the race, clearly before Asne Havengen. And 18 seconds behind, almost going the right, but the left route choice is much faster going away there. So 18 seconds after Kaisa Clementina. And here we have the Bulgarian. It is Antonia Grigorova coming up to the slope and digging deep up this uphill. And it's a good pace, a good start from the Bulgarian lady. She will be, I think she is 4th position here. 12 seconds behind. Yes, 12 seconds behind Kaisa Clementina. She is in the race, looking a little bit. She knows where to go. So just pushing there. And here we have the next athlete started after Anna Asa. I think it's Satu Tuomisto, the Finnish lady. And we know she had a good start. She was just some seconds after Anna earlier. And we see here she has catched up on Anna, but Kaisa Clementina still in the lead, still being faster than the chasers out in the forest. So she is 25 seconds after Kaisa and now at 3rd positions. And then we had Alina Nigli, who also was, I think she was 1 second behind Anna Asa. Started 1 minute after Sato. So we will see. And here we have Idun Strand, the Norwegian. We picked up her quite early here, so we get to see the time. The time has passed out comparing to Kaisa Clementinen, and she is looking at the 7th, 8th position here in the forest. Probably quite okay start, but lost some time on Kaisa. But here we have Alina Nigli, the skier, the young Swiss skier. She has catched up Doris Kudre 3 minutes, and she's only 15 seconds behind Kaisa Clementine. And here we have Elin Schagerström. I think this is a good start from Elin. We have to see what the time says. I think that was really good from the Swede. And you look at the power, look at the speed, at the pace. She's just pushing. She knows exactly where to go. We will see what the time said there. We have Linda Lindqvist here. She won 3 World Cup races last year here in Austria. So she will be there. She will be in the top. Elin Schagerström took the lead with 15 seconds before Kaisa Clementinen, and that is a good start. And we know we had Magdalena Olsson starting just 1 minute behind her. And we will see how she goes here. Actually, 1.5 minutes now it's... So she has still time, Magdalena, and I think some cameraman might have picked her up, seeing her. We should see if she comes. She has 40 seconds to go. I think we have to see her quite soon, and it looks like she's coming there. The Swede, the mom, she's fighting up here. She has a lot of routine. She has a lot of medals, and you see how tough it is up here, and I would say she would probably be in the lead, but my thinking was I saw Elin Schagerström maybe looking a little bit faster up here. Still, Magdalena will be in the lead. I shouldn't say too much. I think she has some seconds on her side. And we should see here, Magdalena also knows exactly where to go. She will take the left route choice. Yeah, you see there, she takes the left route choice. And here we have Daisy Kudre-Schneider. Last season's, I would say, the girl to beat. She's reigning world champion for 2 consecutive championships in both sprint and middle distance. So we will see. Will she go for her 3rd sprint gold medal? I think this will be a tough nut to crack, but definitely has the chance. I think it will suit Daisy very well out in the forest today. It's just that they find the right places to take the shortcuts. And here we have Anna Asa taking the slower route choice to the last control, but we will see what her time says. I think she might have lost some time on Kaisa Clementinen here in the end. Perhaps may have gone into the shortcut. It's easy, as I know as a former athlete, you go hard, and it's a lot of fast. You have to be really fast in your mind, and you see the shortcut. Okay, I go down there, and you don't have the time to think about it even. So probably she has been doing some mistake, maybe going out in the shortcut to the second last control. She has lost time, but everyone has lost time on Kaisa Clementine, and she's going into the 3rd position, only 2 seconds behind Heta Virtanen. But we know she was 40 seconds before her. Yeah, here we get to see that Kaisa Clementinen still is in the lead, less than 15 seconds to Alina Nigli. And it looks like Anna Asa has done some mistake. But we see here Alina, she's doing a mistake going that route choice. And Anna Asa and Satu Tuomisto taking the shortcut. So here we have Satu. And as I said in the men's class, it's quite easy to think that I should continue through the second last control. But it is slower. You should turn around. But I think Satu Tuomisto might have the chance for the new second best time. I think it's really tight towards Heta Virtanen and Anna Asa. We see how much power she has left in her body at this sprinting. Hard to say. I think she is slower than Heta Virtanen, and she will also be behind Anna Asa, in on the new 4th position, 1 minute and 2 seconds behind Kaisa Clementine.
Here for Alina Nigli from Switzerland.
And I would say, yeah, here we have Alina Nigli, but she's still behind Doris Kudre. And I would say it's not the best for her, since she has catched up on Doris 3 minutes. But still, a good race. Alina Nigli in new second best time, 31 seconds behind. And comparing to Kajsa, actually she has lost some time. And here we have Linda Lindqvist, the Swede, who has been really good. She was second in the World Cup last year, and she takes the new third best time. She is 15 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson and Elin Schagerström. Actually, I may think she has done some small mistake there, but as you see, it's very close with the seconds. And if you just do some small mistake with the shortcutting, it's easy to lose seconds. Here we have comparison. The leader at the moment, Kajsa Clementinen, and Elin Schagerström and Magdalena Olsson just going before her. And we see there, Elin catched some seconds on Magdalena Olsson going there. But Magdalena really strong downhill at the shortcuts. And here we have Elin coming to the second TV control. And I think she will be in the lead as it looked from that video. Yeah, she is more than a minute before Kajsa Clementinen. And she has catched up on the Norwegian lady starting before of her. And this is a really good race from Elin, looking determined with the skiing. And she was 12 seconds before Linda Lindqvist at the first TV control. So this is a good race from Elin, going really neck to neck with Magdalena Olsson. Here we have the second comebacking mom from Sweden, Hanna Eriksson. Has been fifth at the European Championships in Turkey at long distance, and also 7th at the World Championship 2019 at the sprint. Having some issues with getting the map into the map holder, but they have 15 seconds, so no problem. Looking at the map, we will see how she starts away in this distance. And I think going away there, looking so she don't break the pole. We see the athletes in the World Cup in cross-country skiing sometimes breaking their poles. So very interesting. And here we have comparison between Daisy Kudre-Schneider and Magdalena Olsson. And we see Daisy has been doing a big mistake in the beginning and doing a quite tough shortcut. And it's not Daisy's day. Now I think she just needs to find her own pace and try to become a bit more stable and just catch seconds, or at least keep seconds to tomorrow's pursuit, because today she will not be in the medal race. Big problems with Daisy Kudre-Schneider here in the beginning, more than a minute behind Magdalena Olsson at first TV split control. And we know that we had the Swedish athlete Frida Sandberg started after her, and she will probably be behind. You see here, yep, Daisy losing control on where she came out to the first control when she has made the shortcut, which makes it hard to see where should I go, and almost coming up to the wide track far too long. And here we have Frida Sandberg. I think she's behind also. Yes. Now, really good start from Frida. Only 9 seconds behind. Now we see the Swedish flags. As I said, the Swedish ladies, they are really strong. And top 4 at the moment. And here we have Delia Giesjendanner. She was really good at the Universiade and comes into the finish there at 10th position. I think a disappointment for Delia. She took the medals last week in Lenzerheide, but now that has been some mistakes out in the forest. And here we have Epp Polberg, I think, the Estonian, and Epp coming up to the TV2 control. You see with the time. Oh, she had big problems out there. We see actually all the 3 Estonian best ladies, Epp Polberg, Doris Kudre and Daisy Kudre, having big issues here in the beginning on this sprint distance. And will be really tough for the pursuit tomorrow. Here we have her, Tove Alexandersson, on the starting line, 139. She has a medal cabinet that's heavier than a lot of the skiers today. We don't need to say much more about her. She is comebacking here at the World Championship in Ramsau, and she's certainly looking for the gold medal. Be highly interesting to see what she can do today. Here we have more runners into the finish. I think it's Antonia Grigorova who is the fastest among these two. Yeah, she is coming in probably to the second position, but Kaisa Clementinen's race, just as Tuomas Utinen's in the men's race, is just getting better and better and better. We will see who can beat her in the end. We see Elin Schagerström probably not so far from the finish, and she had almost 1 minute. So we know she has been doing really good, solid work out in the forest. Yeah, actually here we see her. I think it is Elin Schagerström, number 130, coming into the finish line. She was more than a minute before Kaisa Clementinen at TV2. Actually, I think Elin has done some mistake here in the end, because Eden Strand has passed her. I know we saw at TV2, Elin has passed Eden Strand. Eden has passed her again, and she has lost some time, and this can be really important seconds she's lost there. She takes the lead, 51 seconds. Extraordinary race, but some mistakes has been done by Elin Schagerström in the end, and we know that Magdalena Olsson started just 1 minute after her, and she looks like she's coming here fighting for, I would say, definitely the gold medal. Yeah, she will take the lead. They were exactly the same at TV2, Magdalena and Elin, and you see here how much time Elin Schagerström have lost in the end. Magdalena, super stable, super fast, coming here to the finish. This sprint distance, she had the silver from World Championship 2022, looking for the gold medal today and taking a huge lead with 43 seconds ahead of Elin Schagerström. And now she's down at 13:24 out in the finish. We get the comparison here. We see Elin Schagerström actually is before here. So I think maybe she have gone in on the shortcut. We will see. Yes, she got... Oh. Look at that. She turns around back, and you see how much time she lost there. And here we have Hanna Eriksson, Swedish athlete number... I don't know how many Swedes, but she's here. She is at the 15th position, 45 seconds behind. Probably have been doing some mistake in the beginning here. But looking strong, looking exactly where to go when she goes out to the long leg to the 5th control. We know that we have Sari Väänänen starting 1.5 minutes behind Hanna, and then we have Tove Alexandersson. So now we are, I think Hanna was the sixth last starter, and here we have Maria Hoskari, the second last starter in today's women race sprint at the World Championship. Maria Hoskari, a young athlete who did really good last year. I think she will have it tough for the medals, but definitely top 6 possible. And as we have seen, a lot of the top athletes have done some mistakes. So if you can just keep your cool and do the shortcuts as meant to be, you can catch a lot of time, or at least save a lot of time. So Maria Hoskari, Finnish athlete, going out in the start there. Jumping away from the starting grind. And here we have another finish. I think it's Sari Väänänen, looking strong. On the 8th position, 28 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson. And now we get to compare here Tove Alexandersson with Magdalena Olsson. We should see Tove with the purple and Magdalena with the orange. Looks like they are quite close here in the beginning. Magdalena a bit faster than Tove, taking a different route choice. Taking the same there, but Tove not certain which way to go. Looks like they are quite close to Magdalena with some seconds on her side at the moment. So we will see how this race continues. Now that she will probably quite soon be visible on the TV control, Tove. I think she's catching some seconds up here. You look at the speed that she's coming with, the strength that she's working with, even though she has been sick. This is a good start from Tove Alexandersson. Yeah, looking here, I think she will be some seconds behind the Swedish athletes. And now we have top 5 at the TV split is Swedish athletes. It started looking like the cross-country World Cup at the ladies' side. The Swedish ladies looking really good. We know that we have 3 athletes after Tove. Then we can close the TV1 for this race. Here is the last starter, Eliane Deininger. Also doing a really good World University Ski-orienteering Championship with 3 silver medals. So all individual races. She took the silver after the Elin Schagerström, who was unbeatable. But Eliane Deininger, a really good starter. She has taken a great leap last year towards the top of the top, I would say. Here comes Frida Sandberg, looking strong. Frida has had a huge mistake, I would say. Now 1:23 after Elin Schagerström. It will be interesting to see afterwards what she has done out in the forest. And now we have, I think there is a runner to the finish. Can it be Synne Strand? Yes, Synne Strand towards the finish. Have had some issues in the beginning and also here in the end. Synne Strand, I think that is not what she was hoping for when she started. She showed really good shape at the World University Ski-orienteering Championship in Lensride, but coming in here almost 3 minutes after Magdalena Olsson, which we know she leads with 43 seconds. So Magdalena is quite in a big lead, but I think Synne has had some issues. And here we have Linda Lindqvist, and Linda had a good start, but she has lost time also her. I think a lot of the ladies has gone on this shortcut in the end. Look, she has lost a lot of time, Linda Lindqvist. She won all 3 World Cup races in Austria last year. Today, it's a disappointment for Linda, coming in looking not pleased at all. And here we have Anna Ulvensson at TV1, coming the track that we know she lost sometimes. She's 41 seconds behind, and at 14th position there. I don't think it's the start that she would have wanted, even though she doesn't know how it has gone. She knows, we see in her tracking that she did the same mistake as Daisy Kuder-Schneider to the first control. So at the moment it looks like it's a Swedish battle between Magdalena Olsson and Tove Alexandersson mainly. Here we have Evine Westli Andersen. She is at the position 14 at the moment. Oh, you see Daisy Kuder-Schneider, she has continued losing time. She's 2 minutes behind Magdalena Olsson there. I think Daisy is losing her possibility for the medals for the pursuit. I think here is a good start. Yes, Maria Hoskari. Yeah, here is one who can compete against the Swedish ladies into the tied 5th position. 15 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson at the first TV control. A great start from Maria Hoskari. And here I think we have, can it be the Estonian? Yes, it's the Daisy Kuder-Schneider, also doing the worst route choice to the last control. This is not what she had expected. 2 times consecutive sprint world champion. It won't be a 3rd time, and it probably will be very tough for her tomorrow, also trying to gain more than 2 minutes on Magdalena Olsson. We heard her in the IOF podcast. We saw the results from last week in Lensride. It was maybe not what she had hoped for, and I think there has been some orienteering mistakes out in the forest today. Probably coming into the 8th position at the moment. It's a lot of big time difference, and it is, as I said many times, these shortcuts, even though they are not so long, it's really easy to lose yourself out there. It's really easy to take shortcuts that you don't should take. And here we have Frida Sandberg, I think, that almost has catched up on Daisy Kuder-Schneider. A clearly better time for Frida, but still she has also lost a lot of time. And I think that Elin Schagerström is climbing up to be a medal aspirant more and more. We will see now that we have had everyone at the first TV control. I would say we have Eliane Deininger, but she should be there, so she's too late. And here we have Tove Alexandersson coming down to the second TV control, and she has catched Sari Väänänen 1.5 minutes. And this looks really good for Tove. She has turned around on Magdalena Olsson and will have some seconds on her side here. And look at the pace, look at the frequency she's double pulling with. She knows what this is for, and she is not. She's always hungry for the medals, taking the lead 4 seconds before Elin Schagerström and 6 seconds before Magdalena Olsson. Here we have the last starter, Eliane Deininger, and she has, as I said, she is too late out. She's had some mistake, and she is also not certain where to go to the 5th control. You see, she probably has had some mistake, not in foresight when she's going there. You see, she don't know where to go to the 5th control, and now for her, I would say it's just trying to not lose more time. Try to keep the time that it's not so big to the tomorrow's pursuit. Here we have the TV split when everyone has been there. Magdalena Olsson in the lead, 3 seconds before Elin Schagerström, 5 seconds before Tove Alexandersson, 9 seconds before Frida Sandberg, and 15 seconds before Linda Lindqvist and Maria Hoskari. We will see. We also know at the TV2 that some of the Swedes has lost a lot of time, Linda Lindqvist and Frida Sandberg especially. So there can be other ones at the podium in the end. And here we have, I would say, it's the Norwegian Evine Vestle Andersen. Yes, coming to the finish. And she has taken the best route choice here, but has lost time earlier. Now she doesn't know where to go. Okay, she didn't take the best route choice. But I think now she's on the way to the last control anyway. You see, it's very tough out there. Tough to have the foresight. It's a lot of mistakes. And I think also that the shortcutting may be so that it's so many who have shortcutted. It's hard to see the tracks. Like Jürgen Backlid said already in the men's competition, it was hard to see which were the tracks made by the snowmobile, the narrow tracks, the stretched lines that we see on the map. So I think a lot of athletes have had the problems there, and I think also that a lot of the athletes have had some issues with the shortcutting too much and losing the direction. Evine coming in here at 14th position, just between her and the national teammates Synne Strand and Anne-Sophie Krohn. So we will see. We are waiting. In some minutes we will have Tove Alexandersson, the main contender towards Magdalena Olsson's gold at the moment, as it looks like. She's standing there, Evine, wondering what happened, where did I lose time on this course. And here it looks like, can it be Tove already? It looks like the frequent skier going here in the end. I think actually that can be Tove that we see on this track. And we should see how she ends this race. Turns around there. Is there a big mistake here from Tove? Yes, she has done a big mistake. She is behind, and she has lost a lot of time there. And I don't really know if she knows where she's going, because this is still not clear where she is going. There she turns into the last control, but she has lost a lot of time. This will be interesting to see. Now you see, she falls also. She falls out in the snow. This is a Tove Alexandersson that's stressed. She will not win the gold medal. As it looks at the moment, Magdalena Olsson will take the gold medal. But we will see all the way into the finish. She has catched up on Sari Väänänen. She is at the moment fighting for the 2nd position towards Elin Schagerström, but I'm not certain she will make it. It's a long sprinting distance to go. She has 20 seconds to beat Elin Schagerström towards the silver medal, possibly because we have other athletes coming behind her, and we see that Tove has done a huge mistake in the end. And we also saw her falling, stressed athlete. I don't think she will take Elin Schagerström. She will probably go in here, yes, on the third position at the moment. Tove Alexandersson in at the 3rd position, taking the finish line there. And I think it's a disappointed Tove that she knows she had done mistakes in the end. We will see in the GPS tracking. Perhaps, I would say probably she has done some shortcut that didn't ended up well for her. And Sari Väänänen in on the new 10th position. It's big differences, and I would say I don't want to be not waiting in the runners, but I have very hard to see that someone will beat Magdalena Olsson today. You see here, they do the left route choice, and they go the same here. It's very tight between Tove, Elin, and Magdalena, and we know that Elin did the wrong shortcut. I don't know what Tove is doing here. That is a big mistake, doing some shortcut there. Not knowing maybe where she is, not understanding that that was not the best route choice from her. And here we have Anna Ulvensson, the Norwegian. We should see what time is she on to. She can maybe beat Tove Alexandersson if she finishes strong. I think she will be some seconds late, but we will see. She's fighting for the medal. Anna Ulvensson, the Norwegian. She will not beat Elin Schagerström. Can she beat Tove Alexandersson, the giant from Sweden? I think the seconds will be out on to... Yes, she will go into the new 4th position. Anna Ulvensson, a great race, coming in 50 seconds behind Magdalena Olsson, but just 3 seconds after the bronze medal, as it looks. We have Maria Hoskari left in the forest, but I think she is too far behind. We also have Eliane Deininger here coming to 2nd TV control, but she has lost time. She is 1.5 minutes behind Magdalena Olsson, and she won't be able to catch up that time. So we have 2 athletes still out in the forest before we can say who will win this. Here we see at the split 2, Tove Alexandersson in the lead before Elin Schagerström and Magdalena Olsson, and then 40 seconds down to Anna Ulvensson. But we know that Maria Hoskari, number 6 there, 112, she won't be able. I'm saying it now. Magdalena Olsson will take the gold medal at the World Championship. And I think that Elin Schagerström and Tove Alexandersson will be number 2 and number 3. Because Magdalena Olsson did a great ending. And since Elin and Tove are shorter than 1 minute behind her, I think Maria Hoskari has to go with extreme speed to catch that time. She takes the second last control. She takes the right route choice here, but we saw she came from the wrong direction. That is not the fastest route choice. The time has already gone out towards the Swedish ladies. There will be a whole Swedish, it's blue and yellow at the podium today, with Olsson, Schagerström and Alexandersson on the 3rd place. Maria Hoskari still fighting for a really good position, so she has to go strong all the way. We know that she is probably gonna be after Idenstrand, but it will be tight, I think, against we will see. She has less than 20 seconds, that won't be do, but we have Frida Sandberg at the 6th position at the moment, 1:42 after Magdalena, and she might be able to beat that if she gets really much cheering here. And we hear the Finnish cheering crowd trying to pin up Maria Hoskari towards the 6th position, but I think she is some seconds late, and she will, yeah, she's 1 second behind. So she's at 7th position. She beats Kajsa Clementinen with 1 second. She's 1 second lost against Frida Sandberg. And then we know we only have Eliane Deininger on the way in, and we see here Eliane has done the shortcut and loses time here. I think Eliane will probably lose some more time than she already did. She was 2 minutes behind at the 11th control, and it will be more when she finishes the race. So we see here she's the only remaining athlete out in the forest, fighting for every second for tomorrow's pursuit, because as we see now, there's a lot of time difference. So even if you're 2 minutes behind, you're only 1:15 after the medals. So Magdalena Olsson taking a huge victory today, but Eliane Deininger fighting for every second here for being able to trying to catch some time on tomorrow's pursuit. And she took the right route choice to this control. See if she continues through the control. Yeah, she does. I think she will lose some more time there, but we will see what happens. And we have our skiing cam behind her. Eliane reading the map, taking this looks like she's doing a mistake now. Actually, she hasn't taken the control yet. This is not. Yeah, she has taken the control, but this. Yeah, she takes the middle route choice to the last control. Almost no one has gone here actually. But I think it's a reason, because that is not the best route choice to the last control. And Elian fighting for top 15. It will be tight all the way, I think. So we will see. Maybe 13th position is possible for Elian here. She has 2:10, and I see at 13th position is 2:39. I think she will maybe top 15 as if she pushes all the way she has in her body. She wants to be as close as possible for tomorrow's pursuit. So we see here Elian closing today's World Championship sprint distance. Elian Diner, the Swiss skier, will be after the 14th position. She will be perhaps even not beating Heta Virtanen either. No, she loses some seconds there. And coming into the tied 17th position for Elian Deininger, and I think that's a miscalculation for her also. But we saw it's extremely easy to go into that shortcut in the end. A lot of very good athletes have done it. It's easy to think, okay, I have been doing a lot of shortcutting. I have to go shortcutting here also, but that was a mistake. So here we see the final results, and the Swedish ladies, they were in the top before the race, and they are in the top after the race. Magdalena Olsson winning with 43 seconds. That's stunning race before Elin Schagerström, and 47 seconds before Tove Alexandersson. And we know that they were quite close, so it's actually the mistakes from the other runners and the stable race from Magdalena Olsson that made her the gold winner today. Anna Ulvensen, Norwegian, 4th, and Idun Strand, really good race at 5th position. I think she's very pleased with that. Here we see what you would expect. Daisy Kudre Schneider, one of the biggest favorites, 13th position and 2:39 afterwards. I think she has a lot of thinking to do towards tomorrow's pursuit, and it will be tough to catch those times on the Swedish ladies. Here we have more. We have at 30th position the best Italian lady, Stefania Corradini, but it's a lot of time differences between the best skiers, and it says a hell of a lot of the course today.
Magdalena Olsson, the world champion, what are your feelings right now?
I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. So happy.
What was your race like?
It was almost perfect, very safe race. I decided to not make any stupid shortcuts and just take it easy and safe, and it seems to be the right way today.
And what was your feeling throughout the race?
It felt very good actually. I maybe didn't feel the fastest, but I took it very safe and pushed where I could.
You gave birth to a child as late as in July. How did that affect the performance today?
Maybe it was good. Maybe that made me not have the highest expectations maybe, and I've been like very happy since I got a child and had a good feeling mentally, so maybe it was just good.
And how has the preparations been?
I didn't expect even to compete here actually. It was like the last month I decided, so but I have been training and I wanted to get back in shape sometime, but yeah, it has been good, but no expectations maybe. So.
And what do you like about racing here in Austria?
Very nice. I love competing in the Alps where it's like, and I also love downhill, and it was much downhill today, so it's very nice.
So with one win, what's your expectations for the rest of the week?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really have any expectations on results, but I want to make like good technical races here, and then maybe it will be good. It seems it will be good if you make good technical races.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, and here we have the GPS from today's race. Magdalena Olsson, today's gold medal winner. Really tight start with Tove Alexandersson and Elin Schagerström, and we also see Anna Ulvensen, the 4th position. And she does a big mistake in the beginning. And if it wasn't for that, she would have had the medal in her hand today. We see Magdalena Olsson early picking up a really good pace, and were actually losing some time uphill here. You see Tove and Elin really strong uphill, so they catch some time, but Magdalena doing stable orienteering all the way. Actually a small route choice mistake from Magdalena, but it's only like some seconds here to the fifth control, where you see they come up to the wide track and she doesn't go the right direction there. But then it comes the shortcut downhill, and she is so strong in this area and passes both Alexandersson and Elin Schagerström. And you see, it's interesting to see they have been doing small shortcuts all the way, even though the GPS spots isn't 100% accurate. They have been doing a lot of shortcuts. And they come here, and you see Tove was in the lead here at the 9th control, the second TV control, and then Elin Schagerström was second. But then comes the mistakes that opened up for Magdalena's goal. Tove goes out on this path by some reason. Someone might have shortcutted there. You see Elin Schagerström makes a shortcut to the 12th position, the 12th control, and that's where the time disappears towards Magdalena Olsson. And Magdalena Olsson truly has a stunning position for tomorrow's pursuit also, going out in the lead with 43 seconds. That's a lot of time for the other ones to catch. And you see Tove Alexandersson falling on the shortcut, getting passed by Elin Schagerström right in the end. This is ski orienteering at its best, and Anna Ulvensen just a couple of seconds behind her into the finish. And we are no more snowing, a bit more windy in Ramsau, and now it's time for the flower ceremony quite soon for these top 3 ladies. And we will see if they are faster than Jörgen Backlid was for getting to the flower ceremony. So today's sprint distance at the World Championship, I would say 2 outstanding athletes by Jörgen Backlid and Magdalena Olsson, winning with monumental 23 and 43 seconds towards the second best runners in their class. And we see the Swedish team here ready to cheer them on. Yes, the Swedish flag will stand strong in the women's class.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flower ceremony of the women's sprint here at the World Ski-Orienteering Championships 2024 in Ramsau, Austria. Meine Damen und Herren, die Flower Ceremony des Damensprints an den Ski-OL-Weltmeisterschaften 2024 hier in Ramsau. Third place, representing Sweden, auf dem 3. Rang für Schweden, Tove Alexandersson. Second place, representing Sweden, auf dem 2. Rang für Schweden, Elin Schagerström. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner. Meine Damen und Herren, die Gewinnerin, representing Sweden, für Schweden, Magdalena Olsson. Ladies and gentlemen, a big applause for the top 3 in this sprint race here at the World Ski Championships 2024 in Austria. Thank you so much.
There was the flower ceremony for the 3 top ladies in the sprint distance on this World Championship. Tomorrow it's time for the pursuit, and you will be able to follow that from 11:50. And there will also be men and women. So the pursuit races will be highly interesting, and as we saw today, there can be a lot of changes out in the terrain, and a bit longer distance tomorrow at the pursuit, so a good time for the chasers to try and catch up today's winners. But I think that it's a bigger time difference between the runners than they would have been thinking before today's race, so probably it will be quite tough for the ones a bit further down in the result list to try and catch up on the podium places. Here we have the ski jumping hill, where next to it the lift they took to the start today.